I think there is some issue with the UI, so I will like create a new project. We can do the copy paste. So before like creating the example, we will discuss the all the authentication component, how we can perform the authentication. Okay, so so we have like a web.config file in our project. So you need to first open it. So and you need to add these tags. So this is authentication tag. So mode is a form authentication. Form authentication means there will be a form. Form means to say this login page when where we enter the user ID password and we submit the form. So here we are saying we want to authenticate using form mode. Okay, and in the next part we will like tell if the mode is form, which form will going to like authenticate it. So we simply provide a form. This is a username, let's say AA. You can provide any name. Okay, and here we are like saying login URL. Login URL means to say, let's say P1 is a default page or a home page. If user directly like type the path of P1 page directly in the URL, so system will first check if user is already authenticated. If no, then it will like redirect to the login URL. So which login URL? Login URL will be this. So here we are basically specifying the page who actually performed the authentication. So it can be a login page, login, whatever the page where you want to start the authentication. So this is a two line of code. Uh, you need to add in web.config file. So this is just, we are just telling we want to authenticate the form. We want to perform authentication and the mode is form and want to perform the authentication through login page.aspx. Yeah. So here you can see we have two pages. One is the default page and second one is the login page. Okay, let's go to the login page first. So here we have like designed a table, just simply saying the taking the two text boxes. Text box 1 for username, text box 2 for the password. And we have one button, that is submit button, simple button. Okay, and let's move. When we click on this login button or button, so here we have like action. So what we are doing, we are just this is very basic authentication right now. So we are just hard coded it. If the value in text box 1 means to say user name is 3cm and the password is 123, then we are like saying form authentication redirect from login page to which page. So that is the default page. The system automatically redirect to the default page. Okay, so here we are like saying form authentication dot redirect from login page. While like redirecting to login page, we are sending some information to login page, to default page. We are sending the username. Okay, if ID or password is incorrect, we are just simply writing a message, wrong username, user or password. If username and password is correct, it is username 3cm and password is 123, then we are like saying form authentication and we are redirecting from login page to default page. While redirecting the default page, we are like carrying the username in the request, and further we can use or fetch this username on the default page. Okay, this is the default page. Nothing, we have just a label here and I want to display the username on this label. So on the form load event, we are like having page load event, this code. So in this code we are saying user dot identity dot is authenticated. User dot identity dot is authenticated means if someone try to access this default page directly, the page load event will get executed, and we are like checking the user, who is directly accessing the default page is authenticated. If the user is authenticated, then it will like say welcome the username, whatever the name is, the username. If it is not authenticated without doing providing username or password or try to access the default page, so else will get executed, and we are saying form authentication redirect to login page, right? The same way, like we are saying, explaining, if someone try to directly access the P1 page, the system will first check the user is authenticated. If authenticated is true, then the content of P1 will be rendered. If not, then system will redirect the user to login page for authentication. So how we will redirect to the login page? That is here inside the in else part. We are just simply saying form authentication redirect to login page. Okay. Uh, and from the login page, if username and password is correct, we are saying redirect from login page. Okay. Okay. Let me execute this. I need to create a new project. There is some issue with the some control. We can simply create a new project for this. Okay, so I'm giving the project name as auth sample name. Let's take the empty application. Okay, so now now I'm like taking it two forms. Default default page, and second I'm taking the login page. Just give me a minute, please. Okay, and second I'm taking the login page. Okay. Okay, the first thing we need to update this configuration file. Okay, so here we need to add this configuration, this part, the authentication mode form. So let's create it. So here we can say authentication mode equals form. So these are the the mode type. We have the form authentication. None means so we are not performing any kind of authentication. There is like a type of Windows. Mode is Windows. Windows means to say whatever your system password is will be the same for the authentication. Means to say we can use a Windows mode as well. Passport mode is also there, so we can also create the the keys, encrypted keys and all. Then that is related to the passport mode. So normally, and we are using the form modes. Form modes means to say we have a proper login page, and user supposed to enter their user ID and password. So from there we are like authenticated the user. Okay, and inside we have the form. First we can give the name. Let's say any name, login, and next one is login URL. So login URL will be the login page, that is login.aspx. That's it. Okay, now let's go to the login page. We will design. Okay, so here you can see we have I'm just doing a copy paste just to save the time. So here we need to take a form. There is a form one, and okay. So in this form we need to design a table. Okay, so this is uh, the UI. We have username, then text box, password text box, and button. I'm just changing its property name, property IDs, and more. I'm saying txt user, and next one is txt password. And this will be the login button. Okay. Okay, now we need to create an event. Let's say login. On login click. So here we will like say if txt user equals let's say SA, and txt password equals 123. Here we'll say form forms authentication dot redirect from login page. Oh, sorry. Text. Okay. So like if the username is SA and password is 123, we are saying form authentication dot redirect from login page. So this redirect from login page can take the two parameter. One is a username. So username that is already stored inside the text box user. And the second parameter is related to cookie. If we want to create a cookie, let's say the authentication is done and I want to create cookie on a client side to track the user detail, then we will say true. System will automatically create a cookie and download on the client system. If we do not want to create any cookie, then we will like pass this parameter as false. So for the username, we will say the txt user dot text, and the second one is false. Here. And in case of else, we will say response dot write invalid user and or password, username slash password. Okay. Okay, all right. So we have a default page as well. So in this default page, I'm just taking on label. So default page, we can say this is the landing page. Okay, I'm not writing any code right now on default page load event. So let's try to directly access this default page. I'm executing this. Error. Okay. I think this is the extra one. All right. So here you can see in the URL. So the page URL is that is the default.aspx, right? So that means we can access the default page without performing authentication right now, right? As we said, the P1 or P1 is, let's assume this is the default page. I'm able to access this default page directly without performing any authentication. The reason behind we have didn't provide any check on default page. So now let's uh, provide that. Just double click or go to the page load event. So here we will like identify the user. If user dot identity dot is authenticated, if it is true, then we will say the label one dot text equals user dot identity dot name. Means whatever the name we are like passing from the login page will reflect on this label. Okay, and the else part is if in case user is not authenticated, then we will say forms authentication dot redirect to login page. Redirect to login page. So which login page? So this will like check the login URL from this tag. Okay, now again I'm going to execute directly access this default page. Then now let's see the output. See, uh, you can see in the URL, I'm trying to access the default.aspx page, but system redirect me to login page. Let's do it once again. I'm just removing. I'm typing default.aspx, enter, but system redirect me to this login page. Okay, now I'm adding a username MSA and password 123. Say login. So system now redirect me to default page automatically, right? So this is like how we can you know authenticate the user, and we can say in case user is authenticated, then user able to access the application main pages. Without authorization, sorry, authentication, we are not allowing any user to access these pages. Like if you are like work on CRM or ERPs, so this is very required concept to perform the authentication. Okay, so this is the first thing. Okay, now let's see the next example, one level up. Okay, so in the previous example, if we talk about the login page, so yeah, in this, here you can see we have hard coded the username and password. That means only one user can access the application. That is SA user. If user is not SA, then no one can else access the application. Now we want to change this, like the mechanism. Maybe in our application there are like few users, 10, 15 user, and I want to like provide the access to these pages. So we can mention the users in the web configuration file instead of doing like this SA123 or something. Okay, now what we can do, so we have already like discussed, like we have authentication mode, that is form. We have the login URL, that is the ASPX. Okay, and let's say there is one more attribute, the default URL. Default URL means to say after login, which page we want to show as a landing page. If it is not mandatory, every application will have the default page. Maybe you have the index page or home page or any a dashboard page. So we want to make that dashboard as a default page. So here we can mention that page. So login will be the login page. Maybe that after login, system will redirect to the dashboard. So that dashboard will be the default URL. Okay. Now the main concept is we have the users now. Maybe to 10, 15, like we have a list of users. So we can create like this credential tag. And we will provide the password format the clear means to say like the password is clearly visible, admin123 or something. So under this credential tag we will create a users. We have the user tag, then user will have this name admin, and a password will be whatever the password is. So like this, we can create the number of users. So that means now system, we have like a system where user can enter the username and password. In the first example, we see we hard coded the user SA and password 123. I don't want to do this. I have a list of users. List of users. Like SA, password is 123. Then let's say admin 123 Sam ABC 123, like this. Maybe number of user. So I want a system now, instead of hard coding, when we hit on the submit button, system will check whatever the user we have entered in user ID or password. System will check this user exists in this list. If if the user exists in this list, then it will allow the user to enter in the application. If the user is not exist, then again it will say that wrong username or password, or maybe it will redirect to the again back to the login page. Okay, so basically the next level is we want to create a list of user, and I want to validate the user from this list only, instead of hard coding a user ID or password in the code. Okay, so what we need to do, nothing, we just need to provide these credentials. Okay, this is the first change. And the second change is like we have like hard coded the username or password. Now we can replace that code with this one. So here we are saying like form authentication dot authenticate. So this is the actual method to authenticate the user. Form authentication dot authenticate. Then we need to provide the two parameter. One is username. First is username. Second is the password. And the rest code is the same. If the username and password is exist in the list in the web.config file, then it will like redirect from login page to the default page. The default page can be any now, the default ASPX, or maybe your dashboard page, or any home page as well. If if not, user is not authenticated, it will again say wrong username or password. And the same code on the default page, uh, like we'll check user is authenticated. If yes, we'll display the username. Otherwise, it will redirect to login page to perform the authentication. Okay, so I'm just going to update this code in our application. So this is the first one. So now I'm going to say this. That's it. Okay, one more code change. So instead of hard coding username and password, we will use authenticate method. Forms authentication dot authenticate. So here you can see authenticate will take the two parameter. One is name and second is password. So we'll say txt user dot text, and next one is txt password dot text. Okay, it's giving me, the strikeout, the authenticate. So this is like saying this is obsolete now. So maybe the new membership APIs is introduced in the new framework, so we can like check that as well. But but we can like continue with this as well. Let's check it. Okay, again, system saying username is or saying welcome. Okay, so the last time we mentioned SA and password 123. So it's saying invalid username and password because now the username and password is not hard coded. User is validating the username and password from this credential list. Okay, so let's try with this admin 123. Yep. So with admin, we able to access this default page. Okay. Okay, let's try with the different username password as well. Let's with Sam or Sumit, anything, and any other user. Let's try with Sumit S123. Oh, it's saying admin, welcome admin. I think I need to remove the cache of this browser. Let me remove the temp files. Sumit S123. Yeah. So now we have like message, welcome Sumit. Okay. So now basically system is validating the user from this list only. So this is the second level we can say. In the first level, we hard coded the username and password. In the second part, we are like providing a list of users in XML format. So system is validating from this list only. Okay. Now let's move to the another example. Okay. So we have like seen the authentication, how we can like create the create the user and we can authenticate it. Now the next step is uh, we want to perform the authorization. Now authorization means to say, let's say we have these four pages, P1 to P4. So and we have these three users, SA, admin, and SAM. Let's say. So if the admin user can access this P4 page, or we can say admin can access any P1, P2, P3, P4. For SA user, I just want to give access of P1 and P2 for SA user. For SAM, I want to give access of P3 and P4. This is for SAM. Admin can access the entire site. So now based on the user, I want to provide the authorization. Who is like author for of this page? If in case Sam want to access this P1 page or try to access this P1 page or a P2 page, system will like give the error message. You are not authorized to access this P1 or P2. Same with the Sam as well. If Sam try to access these one of these two pages, so system will say SA is not authorized to access these pages, right? So how will we will like perform the authorization uh, among the users? So we'll see that now. That is again we need to set up inside the XML file. So here we have like already discussed this part, authorization. Now we will discuss the we have discussed the authentication. Now we will discuss the authorization. So in the configuration tag, we will create the this part. So this is the page wise setting. So we have here you can see we have this admin page. So here we are saying the location path is admin.aspx. For this admin.aspx page, we have the settings. So we are saying under system.web authorization, allow user means to say who can access this page. That is user is admin. So if we see this admin supposed to exist in the credential attribute. So here you can see we have an admin user. So basically we have two type of user, admin and pawan. So for the admin.aspx, we are just allowing admin user to access this page. And I want to restrict how we can restrict by using the deny tag. So here we are saying deny user equals star. Equals star means to say apart from admin user, rest of the users like get deny if they try to access the admin page. Okay, so this is the configuration for the admin page. and same type of configuration we can create for other users, other pages as well. Like we have the user page. So here we are saying the location path equals to user. So we are like authorizing allow user. We have a Pawan and admin. Admin and Pawan both can access this page, and deny other user means to say anonymous users is like will be denied. Okay, so we have two pages. One is admin page and second one is user page. Admin page can only accessed by the admin user, not by the Pawan user, and the user page accessed by user and admin, means Pawan and admin both can access this page. Anonymous user cannot access this user page. Okay, and rest of the code is same code. We are using authenticate and all, in the default, or we can say on admin. uh, okay, I think we now do not need to give the check user is authenticate. We can give that as well. That is, we can say the extra check, but so this is something we are like providing the authorization on the page level, who can access the page. Okay, let's do it in our code as well. So we have one default page and a login page. Let's create the two more pages. One is admin and one is user page. This is the admin page. User page. Okay. So we need to add, I'm just again doing copy and paste. Under the above system.net. Okay, so we have the admin and user page. Okay, let me change the user Sam to Pawan. Password is Sam123. Okay, so we have like four users: Sumit, Kiran, Pawan, and admin. So user can admin page only be accessible by the admin user, and user page is only accessed by admin and Pawan user. Sumit and Kiran cannot access anything. So we will like test it so they can access or not. Okay. I'm logging with the admin 123. So here we can see we are on default page and we can see this admin welcome admin message. Now I'm going to update this URL and saying admin.aspx. So we are on admin page. So we have not display any UI or message, but we can access this admin.aspx. Okay, let me try to access this. Okay, let me give simple message. This is admin page. This is admin page. This is user page. Or even on default page, we can provide the two links as well instead of changing in URL. So we are on admin default page after login. So admin is accessible. This is admin page. Now I'm trying to access user page. Just remember we are logged in with admin. So admin can access user as well, like as we mentioned in this page. Admin can access user page can be accessed by admin and user. Okay, let me log in with the Sumit and try to perform the same. So we are logged in with Sumit. Now I'm trying to access first admin page. So see, when we try to access admin, it redirect me to login page. Okay. So with Sumit, we cannot access this admin. So I suppose to change the login as admin. So once I like change the user admin, then I'm able to access this admin page. Okay. So we are up with logged in with admin now. Let me re-execute now. I will log in with as a Sumit and try to access the user page. So Sumit and user. See, Sumit cannot access user page even. Okay, so reason is system is validating or taking the configuration from web.config file. Who, which user can access which page? That is done by authorization. Okay, so this is a two topics. One is authentication and second is authorization. So I believe like you have like uh, got the idea about authentication and authorization. Yeah, Vivek, Diksha, any query?
Right. No, not for now.
All right, okay. Okay, that's it for today. We will like continue from here only. We have like left with one or two examples more related to this. So in the next example, we will like study the roles as well. So we are right now we are
Okay.
dealing with user and pages. We will introduce roles as well, like admin role. So maybe in admin role we have 10 users, or user role. User role will have like 15 users. So instead of giving access to single user, we will replace this code with the role only. We will tell, okay, admin page can be accessed by admin role. So under the admin, we have, like, let's say, the 5 admins. So we'll see in the next class.
Okay.
All right. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.